Beautiful ones. I'm Bert Makia.
And I'm Naim.
This is Cosmic Convos, and we are going to talk about
Sexual
energy. And energy. You said sex and energy. Yes. So we're going to talk about when you are intimate with somebody, what happens spiritually.
Oh, we all know what happens spiritually. Spiritually, you are, what is the word?
Exchanging energy.
Yes, you are exchanging energy. I was trying to say, like, you are in, what's the word? Engaging. There you go. You are engaging in one of the most deepest connections that we have as far as being in this human form and feeling some type of euphoria. You know, it's something that overtakes your body that some people are aware of, some people aren't. And it's something that you should be very mindful of when you do this, because sex is chemistry. Your fluids are mixing with their fluids and you're exchanging fluids. And from that, sometimes life is formed. And you got to be mindful about who you create life with, because you're combining DNA. It's science. And you need to be very extra careful about who you allow in your fluids.
So besides the fluids, that's one, we also have the energy, the aura. So when the master that taught me, I've been taught that when you're intimate with somebody, you have their energy, the aura, for up to 3 years.
Tres.
You say tres?
Tres años.
So think about if you're with someone like every other weekend or every weekend, and some of you men out there that are just smashing, like you, that's a lot of energy, you know? So you have someone's aura for up to 3 years. And what kind of aura are you hanging? Like, what are you carrying? Like, that's important, right?
Very important. I mean, it affects your future relationships and your future sexual interactions as well. Because you allowing somebody to step into your energy like that, they're imprinting on you and they're taking a piece of you with them. So you spend your whole life, you know, just flowing and just meeting guys or just meeting girls and just doing your thing, and, you know what I'm saying, feeling like you handling it. But when you know, get up in that age and you're ready to finally love, or, you know, you not even if you get up in that age, but just when you get to that point when you're ready to love, you've given yourself to so many different people. You don't even have enough to give to somebody else. You're just empty, you know, and then you just, you know, you're trying to, after you done already gave all your energy away and all these hundreds or 50 people have all a little piece of you, now you're 40 or now you're 30 or whenever you finally decide to hop off the whole train, and, you know, you don't have nothing left.
And the mystic Sadhguru talks about that you also take on their pain memory, right? So that's a big thing. So you're taking on their energy, and then you're also taking on their pain. And, you know, a lot of times if you are sleeping around and there's different people all the time, who you're with has a lot of pain. So you're actually taking that on. And over time, it matters. It makes a difference. And that's what Sadhguru talks about, that if you're sleeping with a new person every weekend, you think it doesn't matter. He said, you know, like, think again, because it does. And I know, you know, especially if you're young watching this, you think, well, 20 years is not going to pass quickly, or 10 years is not going to pass.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep doing me. I'm going to just keep, you know what I'm saying, sliding these girls to the left and, you know what I'm saying, being a boss, because I got 4 or 5 ladies that I hit up, and, you know what I'm saying, I could just hit any one of them and they all know what's good, you know. You're going to lose yourself, my brother. That's what you're doing.
Your energy. So what happens, like, you know, 10 years passes. We'll say 10 years, because I know 20 years seems like a long, but 20 years goes, you know, it's going to go quick, right? So 10 years passes, and, you know, you're with, you know, you settle down, you're with the woman that you love or the man you love, you got, you know, career's going well, all this thing, but, like, you can't figure out, like, why you're not happy. You got, like, this stuff. Well, because you got all this other shit from all this other pain from all this other people.
You don't even think about it. Don't even cross your mind.
Yeah. And, like, I feel this, you know, because I have a lot of older men that are trying to step on me, especially, like, not step on me, step to me, right?
Yeah.
So,
like, damn, bird, dang. You mean the whole team of narcissists over there or what?
And, especially a lot of alphas, because I have really feminine energy. So I'm attracting, the alphas are very attracted to me. And their energy, I can feel them because I'm very in tune to energy. Like I can feel all the pain. And I just am like, no, you can't be near me. Like you can feel all the pain. And, so if you're thinking that, it doesn't matter, you're 25, you're watching this and you think it doesn't matter, especially the men out there.
I mean, it's important. It's more important for us folk, us millennials who are young, to start now, being aware of our sexual energy, because it's we're the future, And I know all of us millennials know that we're here for a purpose. That's why all of our energies flow the way that they do. So I feel like our position in this life, our position in this universe as millennials is very vital, because we're gonna save the planet. All of us are superheroes. Every millennial I meet, we're all enlightened in some type of way, because we got that last little bit of that old school. And so I feel like it's important for us to wake up and realize the dangers that we're stepping into by just opening ourselves up to just anybody that we have a connection with. You have to be mindful about who you let inside of you, especially, I don't want to say especially, but for women, a lot of people are not aware of this, but your heart is connected to your vagina. When you allow somebody into you in that way, you are hitting the heart. You're tapping into the heart. That's why for women, during sex or after sex, they feel more enamored. They feel more like I love you. They feel more attached. Exactly. What are we doing tomorrow? Where are we going? And guys are like, I'm finna go get a chili dog. I'll catch you later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll hit you when I need some more. You know what I'm saying? For us fellas, we're not so enamored in that way. Not to say we couldn't be like that, but so that's why I don't want to say women especially need to be mindful, but it's just the fact that you guys do have a deeper connection to your heart through sex.
And there's also a womb imprint. So, also beautiful women out there and beautiful goddesses, we have, our intuition. Like we're tapped to our intuition, but we also have our intuition in our womb. So how many of us, have known when our man's cheating? No, there's no evidence, and all of a sudden, just in our gut, in our womb, we're like something's off. Like you can feel that off. It's because there is womb wisdom, and so you have an imprint in your womb. So you want to just be careful about what you're imprinting with your womb. It's important.
Definitely important. And for brothers, you don't want to be the man that has a trail of broken women behind him. That's not something that, if you are a man that's trying to be a good man, a righteous man, that's something you want to be mindful of. Is not leaving sisters just destroyed, behind you, because you just hopping in each of them and not being aware of the energy that they have with them. It's very important for you to just be mindful about who you give yourself to, especially if you have something good. If you learn that, you blessed or you endowed, you got to be mindful about giving that energy away like that to just any and every person. Ladies, if the brother is not on your level, if he not vibing with you, if he ain't, keeping his body right and clean, you don't want to let that man inside. You don't know what he do with himself all day. You don't know when he took a bath and nothing like that. He just throw cologne on and come and slide up in you, leaving all kind of bacteria up in there. Same thing for the ladies, fellas. You don't want to be laying with a sister that don't keep herself clean. It's not wise at all. And like you said, the energy that's associated, see how you feel after you have sex with somebody. See that energy. Are you feeling uplifted? Are you feeling enlightened? Are you feeling like, it was enjoyable, and not just so much of the lust, but the energy that you feel afterwards when you leave, or whether you're in a relationship or you're not. How are you feeling after the sex? This is what you have to be mindful of.
Exactly. That's a main thing. Like, is this energizing you?
Right.
You can be with a soulmate, for example, and have that connection and have that first thing. But if they're not vibrating where you are, because I talk about vibrations. Vibrations are so important. When you are vibrating higher, and you've been taking care of yourself, and you've been eating the good plant-based foods and raising your vibration and loving yourself and doing all this stuff and meditating, you're vibrating here now. And you sleep with someone that's vibrating here. Well, that person, what happens when it collides, it's called destructive interference, because it is destructive to you. What happens is that person gets more energy And what happens to your energy is you're not just doing this, it actually flatlines your energy. And scientists have proven it, like flatlines it. Like you have no, like
I've
it just,
seen it.
it
I've seen it
dissipates your
happen.
energy. So you
Yeah.
can be with somebody and, you know, he can be fine and, you know, you feel loved or, you know, it just might be just like, it was pleasurable and I was just this man, right? But afterwards you're like, your energy is down. Like, listen to those things. It's important because, you know, just like that's why we get addicted to bad food, right? Because, you know, when we're eating bad food, junk food, we're not getting any nutrients. We're not getting nutrients. And then when we get done, we're like, we want more nutrients. And so we have to keep, we have to keep eating more junk food because we just, it's the same thing with sex. So if you are, you know, you're having with somebody and you want more energy and but it's dissipating your energy. Now you need more energy and it's this cycle. Now I need some more. Now I need some more. Now I need some more. It's the same cycle.
Indeed. And not, like you said, not getting lost in the power of the lust. Like you said, you could be having sex with somebody and it just be enjoyable, but afterwards it's not. And that's how you see a lot of relationships. People stay in relationships because the sex is good. Because when we have sex, it's just so bomb that I just forget about why I was mad, or I forget about, you know, this and that, because, you know, he just knows how to put it down, or she just gives it to me and it's so lovely. And that is a distraction from pulling you from seeing what's real, is knowing what you feel.
Yeah. And I must say, if you are in something that's not healthy, if you are in a relationship that doesn't feel good, that, you know, is toxic, and, you know, sometimes when you're in a relationship that's toxic, you're not ready to look at that it's toxic. But, you know, if you're not feeling good, you know, if you're crying and you're like, it doesn't feel like you're doing, it's a lot of drama. Like drama is a good key. Like there's a lot of drama, there's that fighting that's going on. When you're with that person, even if it might feel good and you're like, the sex is good, well, like they're sucking your energy, like it's dissipating your energy. So it's important to look at,
like you said, it's like sweets, piece, right? You know, the sweets, it tastes bomb, but it's fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. Good sex, it can be good sex that messes you up, and you have to be mindful and you have to be aware of that. You know, I believe that I promote that you should align yourself with somebody who's aware of what sex is, who's aware that it's an energy exchange. And if you are able to come into contact with somebody who's aware of that, you know, you're able to heal each other, and it's harmonious, it's beautiful, it's uplifting. You feel energized. You don't feel bad. You don't feel sneaky. You know, you feel great about yourself. You feel good, like boom, and you're flying and you're glowing and you're moving. So it's very important to be aware of the type of energy when you're with. I'm telling you, if you have not shared yourself with somebody who is aware of the energy exchange that sex is, you ain't really had no good sex yet. Or what you think is good sex is not good sex. It's not uplifting. It's not fulfilling. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel more empowered. Then you know what I'm saying. You ain't getting it right. You ain't doing something.
You're not
right,
having some spiritual sex. Like it's a whole different. It's a whole different ball game.
Indeed. So, you know, the research that I've just been doing over the years has definitely shown me that a lot of sisters are engaged in non-enjoyable sex. Like the sex is not really leaned towards them because they're giving themselves to men that don't even know anything about giving them positive energy, or they're giving themselves to men that, you know, are only there to just take, you know, and not really give anything at all. And by doing that, you're not only damaging your womb, you know, but you're damaging your heart. You know, and it's not cool. Don't do that to yourself. Don't
do that to yourself. Thank you. And I think it's good to, you know, I appreciate having you as a man, like just even talking to,
because I don't have a whole team of brothers that been on the same tip. You know, my sexual experience was very short, but I was able to understand a lot during that time. And I want to help uplift my brothers, because we have a struggle that the sisters don't have of being able to maintain your mentality and not become a casualty to lust. You know, you have to fight off those demons in your mind that get you raged up. And that's why the healthy lifestyle is so important, especially for the male, is you have to, you know what I'm saying, appease those urges, and it's not always sexually. Like you can't always just sexually appease your urges. You have to find different outlets for yourself other than sex. Sex cannot be your only outlet that you heal yourself from. You know what I'm saying? I even meet a lot of people who claim that they're like, you know, nymphomaniacs, that they're just sex addicts. Like, I just have to have sex all the time. And that is relatable to toxicity. So you don't want to be sharing your energy with somebody who's toxic. You don't want to do that because you're not really having the true experience of sharing your energy with somebody else. It's you know, if you're gonna do something like that, you need to, I would say, why wouldn't you do it the best way, the way that you're able to get in the most purest form? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like so, you know, true and powerful sex is when two beings light each other up. You know, like you have been working on yourself and your energy's here, and he's been doing the same, and his energy's good, and now you come together and it's a boom. And especially for women, the feminine essence is about receiving and being, and the intimate, the sexual energy with a man, it should be someone that you're with them, that it lights up your creativity, like it just lights you up. And if it's not doing that, then why the F, like why bother? Like that is part of, you know, like yes, like why bother with that if it's not lighting you up, if it's not energizing you, then, you know, besides the momentary pleasure, it's not benefiting you. It's,
at all.
It's really important.
Indeed. It's vital. It's vital.
Yes.
You know, being mindful of these things will change your experiences. I guarantee you that if you take the time to be patient, if you take the time to be aware, and if you give yourself value, you know what I'm saying? Ladies, from a male's perspective, I would say, you need to know what your value is. You need to know what you are worth. You need to know what is deserving of your temple, because, you know what I'm saying, that place is sacred.
This is our temple, beautiful ones. Mind your temple. It is so important to mind your temple. And if you have not minded your temple in the past, I don't want you coming here and saying, oh, I feel bad. Like, this is not about shaming or guilting anybody. This is about just walking in self-love and awareness of what this energy, like there is an exchange of energy. And the last thing I want to talk about is the whole we have been living in a patriarchal society for long, thousands of years, and that society is actually it's dying. The scientist Dr. Bruce Lipton actually outlines the rise and falls of civilization, and he actually scientifically outlines it with all these scientific facts of how our current civilization is dying, but a new civilization born on the heart and our six senses is being born. And that's what I believe the younger generations are being born with, the higher empathic skills. That's why, you know, a lot of people are experiencing, you know, a lot of you are experiencing anxiety, you're feeling all these things because you have these powerful gifts. So with that shifting, that you think that the older generations of men have been in this patriarchal society, which has been about take, and the woman's essence is about receiving, and the man's essence, the feminine, the divine masculine essence, is about doing and giving. All right. And if you look at the old school relationships, a lot of times that's not what's happening. The woman is giving and giving and giving and giving, and the man is taking. So there's a shift, so there's a shift where, you know, and women and men have to step into this new world. And my opinion too is that I believe the younger generations of us women are, you know, like protecting ourselves, because we have seen our mothers, and, you know, even if we haven't seen what happened to our grandmothers, we're getting the DNA and the trauma of what they're going through, and, you know, all the cheating and all the pain. So I believe the younger generations, we're trying to protect ourselves. So we're like, no, I'm going to be the man. Like, I'm going to be the one that's the aggressor. I'm going to be doing that stuff. So it's just kind of shifting and understanding that, and shifting into us being spiritual beings. And for the men out there, like, become a king, you know, like step into your king. You're not a king. It's not powerful just to be a player. Like, you know, that players are punks. Players are quitters. Like that is not, that does not make you a man. Yes.
Makes you a man is mastering your sexuality and honing that, so that you can coexist around the opposite sex and not just be so, oh damn man, look at that ass, look at them titties, like, you know, just going crazy. Like you said, you just end up in that cycle. I need to get some. Like that's not healthy. And yes, it is a struggle, but like in everything that we talk about, it's work. You know, and just like I told the ladies, you need to be aware of your value. Brothers too, you know, brothers, you need to be aware of your value as a man and what you have. Because I know a lot of you, you know, some brothers out there, you might have, you know, a lot of women that are just pulled into you and enamored by you, and that makes you feel compelled to just, I gotta slide through all these ladies. Like, you gotta be careful what you do with your magic wand, because it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be out here casting spells on every woman that, you know what I'm saying, that wants you like that. You have to give yourself value too, and allow sisters to come forth who are deserving of that. Just like ladies need to be more mindful about their temple and only allow brothers who are deserving of that based off of the what's the word I'm looking for here? Based off of the
self-love, self-respect.
Based off of the
energy.
Based off of the elevated perception of yourself that you have, and the.
How was I supposed to know that it was elevated?
No,
that's not
I
the word either.
No, I'm paraphrasing, but based off of the expectations that you have for someone who is deserving of your temple. That's what I was explaining earlier, is that people are not presenting their value. You're just meeting a dude, liking him, going back to his place and getting some, or going back to your place. Like, you're not even allowing him to deserve your body and your temple. And so therefore, once he takes it from you, then you don't feel like, you know, I already got it, I'm good, I don't need to work for nothing, I don't need to continue to date. You know, females wonder why dudes do these things and stuff like that. It's like, you never even laid down any expectations. Like, before I even give you some, let me see A, B, C, D, and E. You know what I'm saying? Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go back and listen to some songs that remind you that you got to remember your value, queen. You got to know who you are and what you deserve before you just let, you know what I'm saying, Terry, Jake, and Larry just slide up in there. Like, you need to really be mindful about the powerful energy that you give out.
Step into your power, like, know your worth. It is so important. Like, love yourself and put boundaries. You know, you can have, like I said, you can even meet a soulmate and just feel like, oh my goodness, but you still have to put boundaries. Like, if you met a soulmate that's
to do that with, you know?
Yes, you know, like, if you met a soulmate that's a player, like, you know, there's a connection, like, but like, hey, like, this is my standards. Like, you know, go do your journey. You know, you know, you don't need to get with this then, you know. That's, you know, and that's kind of the, and a lot of times, you know, we don't get there like easily because, you know, that's when we feel loved, because deep down we don't feel loved. And that, you know, that was a lot of my journey too. It's like, I didn't feel loved. So, you know,
sex will make you feel loved.
You feel like in that moment.
Somebody wants to touch me. Somebody wants to love on me. You know, he might go out and be with all these girls, but at least I'm getting something. Or, you know, same thing for the fellas, you know, and it's that's not how it's supposed to be at all. Yeah. You need to grab a hold of yourself, understand your value, and demand respect for your temple or for your magic stick. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be giving it out to everyone. You got to understand the power and the value of your sacredness, because because sharing your energy is one of the most deepest connections that we have, as far as when it comes to connecting with another soul like that. It's the last, that's why they say, you know what I'm saying, first love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in a baby carriage. You know what I'm saying? Sex is the last thing that you do to consummate the marriage. You know what I'm saying? So it's vital. Is you know what I'm saying? It is a cosmic thing. You know, we just look at it like, you know, we just messing around, we just getting something, it's cool. But like we've been explaining, what you're doing is very powerful. You need to be mindful about clashing your chemistry and your energy, especially when it comes to these children, because you'll see the difference between a love baby and a 5-minute fuck baby. Okay, you can see the kids who just here, and you can see the children who were made out of love and how they are in their mind. And so just be mindful, people, about who you are giving yourself to.
And you're talking about children. There is a Rumi, you know, beautiful Rumi. He was the mystic poet Rumi. Yes.
They know Rumi. You know Rumi.
You guys know Rumi. Yes. Well, he talks about, like, it'll take me a minute to find it in here, but there is a poem in here where he talks about sex and energy, and he talks about, if you think, he goes, whenever two people join, always something is born. Sometimes it is, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, sometimes it is actual child, but nonetheless, something is always born. What he's talking about, there's actually another entity, another energy born between every person you are sexually with. We talked about it for, many, many years ago.
Right.
So, even if it's not a children that's being born, what is being born energetically between you?
You're
and do you want
something.
Yeah, do you want to create, you want all these baby auras around you, or do you want
remember what you were teaching me about the negative sexual energy, and we can close off on this. Is the thing that you create when you're continuing to have sex with someone that you should not be having sex with. The rigor.
It's called egregore. Egregore, yes.
Yeah.
So when you are with somebody, and egregore is actually when you've been intimate with someone for a long time, a long-term relationship, or it might not even be a relationship, somebody that you just are sleeping with a lot, even if you're not in committed relationship. There's a separate entity called the egregore that is created between the two of you. So what happens is that when you dissipate that and you stop being intimate with them, like, it's painful. It's painful to break this apart. So that's why sometimes when you are like in a toxic relationship, or you're the energy vampire, you're something, and like it still hurts. You're like, why do I feel like I'm dying right now? It's because this separate entity is created. So you want to be careful about, even if there's just some brother that you're just with once in a while and you don't have a relationship with him, but that's who you're with repeatedly. You created an energy between the two of you, and that's why you're addicted. Like, you can't, he comes around, you think I'm not gonna, and then all of a sudden, you've created this extra, and it's called an egregore. Yes. Yeah. So
indeed, and be mindful. Like I've shared in other videos about sleeping with people that you have connections with, because it's difficult, next to impossible, to come back from being bonded friends and sharing each other's energy, and then just going back to being friends like that. Like, you need to value having the opposite sex in your life as a genuine, beautiful relationship with non-emotional attachments. Like, we need this, my brothers. We need to have more sisters around us that we are not sexually committed to or associated with, but that we can share and grow and learn with, because we have got to learn how to become back in balance with our female counterparts. Like, it's essential for society.
Spiritual partnerships, and that's women. That's how we step into, a lot of times we are calling each other queen, but if you really are a goddess and a queen, you need to step in. You need to step into being a goddess and a queen. You don't just not automatically get that just because you're a woman, although we all have the potential for it, right? But you have to step into your power. Become a queen. Become a goddess, and mind your energy. And I believe that the old societies, back when we were matriarchal, I believe that women were taught that, like, be careful about who is in your space, because honestly, that's why you are becoming powerful. I know we're going to end, but I'm going to just make this note. Also, don't be afraid to spend some time being celibate. Taking that time to be celibate, like, it just clears your energy, and you're able to step into your power, and it clears that addiction to having that sex.
It's like sexual fasting.
Yeah, so like it is, because you get addicted to it, and then when you started, like the first few months, you're like, oh, you're counting the months, like, oh my God, like counting the days, and then after that, you get, it's like you understand that I am really powerful, and you become more mindful. You're like, I'm not. I've cleared my energy.
You want that power, you gotta endure it. You gotta endure it some more until you come out on the other side of it. Until you end up in that power. But it's just like a workout. You want to get that power, you gotta keep on pumping. You gotta keep going at it every day, because you want it that bad, and you need to deserve it that bad. Last thing I'm gonna say to the sisters about healing your sexual womb area. One of our soul members, we're gonna add her name on the video at the bottom. Luminous Yoni eggs. If you don't know what a Yoni egg is, you are not living your full female life. And as a man, I'm saying this with confidence. If you don't have a Yoni egg, you're not being a full female. Like, a Yoni egg is essential to the female life. Like, being born a female, your mother should be giving you a Yoni egg when you start, your journey as a woman. When you get married, boom. That should be your gift from your mother, is a Yoni egg. So if you don't know about Yoni eggs, go to our Soul Families page, Luminous Yoni Eggs. Learn all that you can about that, and get yourself a Yoni egg, sisters, because it's definitely beneficial. Yes.
All right. Beautiful ones.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. So much love and light to you.
Love and light to you. Love
and light. Love and light. All right. All right, let's go.
Let's do this. Okay,
all right.
So we are right, no, I can't get married. Start over.
You ready yet?
Nope. Hold on, wait. That one's loose. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
My goodness. Woo.
Are we ready?
Are we ready? Oh. Yeah, we ready.
Woohoo! Should we do a little dance with it?
Little dance. I can't dance in small places. I'm too tall.
We have to get a lyric for this, like, you know, Cosmic Convos.
Cosmic Convos, Cosmic Convos.
We have to get a little dance.
Cosmic Convos.
Any suggestions for dance?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to work with it.
All right. We're gonna put together something.
I'll work on it. I'll spit some verses for it.
Okay.
I'll do like a little.
We can do a little choreography.
Yeah, something.
Stay tuned for some
Cosmic Convos. Cosmic Convos. Sound like a drink or something. Can I get a Cosmic Combo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. All right. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.